EA Sports just revealed some big changes that are coming to Madden 25 very soon. And I'm not gonna lie, a couple things that they revealed actually surprised me because I did not expect this at all. So we're gonna go over all of the stuff they just revealed, and I'm also gonna go over some of the big questions I've seen from some of you in the comment section. I know some of you are looking for answers on a few things, so I got them for you in this video. And if you're new to the channel and you don't want to miss out on any of these important updates all year long, or the updates for the college football game, as we have another big one coming for that soon, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you never miss any of these important news videos. We're on the road to 700K subs now, and I would love for you to be a part of the family. Now, before we get into the news that was revealed today, I do want to talk about the fact that there was a small update that went live last night, and I've seen a lot of people asking, what was that update about? Well, the truth is, none of us know because they didn't put out any info on it, which means whatever that small update was last night, it was nothing major. It's probably nothing that any of us would even notice. It was probably some back-end stuff. Could have been something to do with maintenance or some stability fixes or something like that. But if they don't put out any info on an update, that just means nothing really noteworthy even changed. Now, the other big question I've seen asked a lot is what happened to the create a player franchise mode? So basically inside of franchise mode, you could be an owner, you can be a coach, or you could pick to be a player and you can just take control of a player, create a player, and kind of have a career mode that way. Now, I'll tell you what I know about it and my thoughts on it. All I know about it is that they're no longer supporting that in the game because they're all in on superstar mode now that that returned to the game last year. Their goal is to build up superstar mode to be the one true career mode, and that's what most people had asked for like the last 10 years. Now, depending on when you started playing the game, you might have grew up with the game without superstar mode and all you played was the create a player in franchise. But I remember back in the day when they took superstar mode away and they introduced connected careers, which introduced the option to play in franchise as a single player. Most people did not like that and complained about it for like a decade. They said, we want superstar mode back. This is kind of a joke, because when you compared it to what superstar mode was back then, the create a player in franchise was way less than that. All you did was pretty much just player lock on to a player, whereas superstar mode had a lot of other things built into it. And the same kind of goes for today. When you play superstar mode, you have the combine, you have cutscenes, you have some story you can build with your player, you have more options with customization, you have more options with the journey your player goes down. And now with college being back, you also have Road to Glory, where you can literally import that player from that game over to this game. But I was surprised to see that so many people are upset about this, because I just remember for years people were begging for superstar mode back and they didn't like the create a player in franchise because it just was so much less than what superstar mode was. Now, the create a player franchise did have something over current superstar mode in that you can control more positions, whereas in superstar mode you only have 5 positions. But again, when I say that they're going all in on superstar mode, that means eventually adding the other positions there and adding some of those other options so that you could do everything in superstar mode and you don't have the need for 2 different versions of a career mode. So why did they remove it? That I don't know specifically. I just know, like I said, that they're not supporting it because they're going all in for superstar. But I'm just assuming the reason that they removed it is because it takes up space and resources inside the game like everything else does. There's not an infinite amount of space in these games. So if you have 2 things that essentially are attempting to do the same thing, which is be a career mode, if you're going all in on the other one, you don't need to have both, because the other one's going to sit there and take up space and resources when you're trying to take that and really put that to the other mode and build that one up. Because again, you just don't have infinite space inside of the game. Because that's a question I've seen asked, why not just have both? Well, I think that's the reason. I was not told that that's the reason, but just being around this industry for years, I know that that's probably the reason, because it takes up space. And if you're going to build the other mode up, especially when that is the mode the far majority of people had been asking for years, well, then it's probably best to remove the other one so that you can free up space, free up resources to then put back into the mode that people were asking for. But there are still a decent amount of people that want the create a player franchise, because again, maybe that's all they grew up playing and that's what they're used to and that's what they like more. So I understand why some people are upset about it, but it's not coming back because superstar mode is the mode that they're going to be building up going forward. Now we're going to continue on with franchise mode and more, but really quickly, here's a word from today's video sponsor. I want to give a shout out to Game Time for sponsoring today's video. Game Time built a ticket marketplace that makes it faster and easier to get into your favorite events at a moment's notice. And for somebody like me who loves attending sporting events, especially MLB games during this time of the year, nothing is more frustrating than not being able to find an affordable ticket, especially one at the last minute. In fact, last summer when I was on a trip in Chicago with my buddies, we wanted to attend a Cubs game because I had never been to one. And Game Game Time came in clutch for us. We found affordable tickets with a great view at the last minute. And speaking of view, that is one thing I absolutely love about Game Time. They let you see the view from your seat, which is super important to me. I want to know exactly what the view is going to look like before I spend my money. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you this complete peace of mind with your purchase. You get to view the seat from your app, and they show you the all-in prices up front, so you know you're getting a great deal before you even check out. Now, I'm definitely trying to check out some Astro games nearby before the summer's over, and there's a lot of other big music events in my city that I'm interested in as well, so I'm definitely going to be using Game Time for all of those purchases. Game Time is also obsessed with helping you find ways to save money on your tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after the event is started. You can find exclusive flash deals that help you save even more on select seats ahead of the event, and with the Game Time guarantee, that means you're always going to get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code RayWeather for $20 off of your first purchase. Again, download the Game Time app, create an account, and redeem code RayWeather, RayWeather, for $20 off. Game Time, last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Terms apply. So let's get into the news that they revealed today. They've got news for gameplay, franchise, superstar mode, and more. Now, the biggest thing by far, in my opinion, that they revealed today is that the revamped passing system from college football is coming over to Madden. Now, I thought that this would happen eventually, but I did not think it would happen this year. I thought that would be a Madden 26 thing, but they are bringing it over this year in an update. It says, new passing mechanic. As part of our planned post-launch updates, we're on track to add the revamped passing mechanic that debuted in College Football 25 in an early title update. They also did note that there is a bug with custom route stems, and it says, while we're excited to give players the control and creativity of custom route stems, we are aware of the exploits and imbalances introduced with the new feature. We will have fixes in upcoming updates. And they also added another dev note that said, we are monitoring feedback around zone coverage. We are actively working on adding a variety of improvements in the first several title updates, including improvements to flat zones, cover 3 deep zones, coverage checks versus bunch sets, press animations, and additional pass velocity ability tuning. Now, that's a lot of info right there, all of which I think is good. Starting with the passing mechanic, I love revamped passing in college football. I think it gives the game really good ball trajectory, better than Madden ever has, and it has very good pass leading built into it. So the fact that this is coming to Madden is going to make the pass trajectory in Madden better than it's ever been. Even though they tuned it this year already, this is going to make it 10 times better. And if you haven't played college football, trust me, this is the passing mechanic to use. Now, in terms of the custom route stems, there is a bug with it that kind of gets you a speed boost if you set up route stems a certain way. This is a glitch in both college football and Madden, so they're going to be patching that for both games, which is obvious. We knew that was going to happen. Now, in terms of zone coverage in Madden, definitely not great. I don't like zone coverage right now. I don't think anybody does. They're kind of just traffic cones out there for the most part. So I'm glad to see that they're doing some tuning to that, because they need to tighten it up a little bit, especially when you add in those velocity abilities that they talked about. It makes it even harder for them to react, because the velocity abilities make the ball get to the receiver so quick that even if you're in good coverage, it's kind of hard to react to it all the time. So they might actually tune that back a little bit, which has probably been needed for some years now, to be honest. Now let's talk about the upcoming franchise mode update. So one of the big ones right here that I think people are going to love, they're finally reverting the Play Now Live back to how it used to be. It says, for our franchise fans who like to hop into any week of the NFL regular season and beyond, we want to confirm that we will be adding the NFL roster starting points for franchise every week. This also means that Play Now Live weekly matchups will reflect the current matchups for every week starting in the regular season. I don't know why they changed this. The last 2 years out of the blue, they changed this and they only updated Play Now Live like 3 or 4 times throughout the year, and people hated this because a lot of people like to play the game this way. And I said, if you're gonna take away the weekly updates, why even have the feature in the first place? I feel like it completely defeats the point of the feature. Well, I guess they heard the complaints and they're reverting it back finally. So the last 2 years, Play Now Live has been literally not Play Now Live week to week, and now they're reverting it back to how it used to be. So that is a huge W. Glad that they listened to the community on that one, because it just didn't make sense. They also mentioned about the draft class import. It says, we are targeting a fix in a future update that will allow you to import a draft class directly from the download center into your franchise. And it does say here that there is a workaround. It says, download the draft class from the download center in the main menu, access your franchise. Once in franchise, import the class from your local file. Now, this is not something I mess with, so I'm not even sure what this means, but that's what they have listed on their site. Moving on to Superstar mode, it says, profanity filter blocking Road to Glory imports into Superstar. It says, an update for changing names games is now set to 3 minutes. A future update will allow players to change their names in Madden NFL 25 without going back to college football 25. And they also listed some other known issues they're working on. It says known issue around the AI team not re-signing all of the users' team's free agents. Known issue around importing multiple position players from Road to Glory into Superstar. So people that want to import multiple position players, they're going to be fixing that. It also says brand quest difficulty. We are looking into tuning some of the brand quest lines. It also says we have a fix coming in a future title update for a rare issue around the camera freezing during a change of possession. And it says there is a known issue of the showdown gold, silver, and bronze abilities not loading properly. And it also says that they addressed an issue around players unable to complete the combine after meeting a specific set of conditions when using an imported Road to Glory player. They also mentioned some things about presentation here. It says gameplay cameras. We will continue to monitor feedback regarding the default gameplay camera angle. So they did change the gameplay camera this year. I'm gonna be honest, after a game or two, I'm already used to it. It doesn't bother me anymore. But that first game, I did not like it at all. So we'll see what happens. But honestly, I feel like after a couple games, it feels normal to me again now. They also mentioned there are some audio fixes coming. It says for commentary, we have seen feedback regarding the volume level of commentary being a little low and have plans to address this in a future update. And I think this is more so just the crowd also being a lot louder this year, so they just need to balance that better. And they also mentioned the soundtrack. It said we see some players having trouble finding the classic songs that can be turned on for the soundtrack. This can be done from the main menu. On the PlayStation, click the touchpad. On the Xbox, press the back button. On PC, press the T key to access the menu. There's also some known Ultimate Team issues, which I'm popping up on the screen right now. I know most of my audience does not play Ultimate Team, but if you do, these are the fixes. You can pause and read them on the screen. And they also mentioned some game share matchmaking problems, so I put this up on the screen as well. If you're having any problems or difficulties with matchmaking when using game share, this is what you want to do, and this should clear up your issues. Another thing that was revealed today is that the Bengals are going to be wearing orange pants for the first time ever. It's going to be alternate pants that they're going to wear with an alternate uniform. And I went to check, and these are actually already included in Madden. It seems like they were definitely on top of all of the uniform changes this year. Even the ones that weren't revealed yet are in the game. I happened to miss this one the other day when I did my equipment video. I didn't notice that this was something new, but it is already in the game if you are a Bengals fan. Another question I've seen asked a lot is why can't I use custom playbooks in online head-to-head? EA did say in a blog before the game came out that they redid the custom playbook feature this year, which I believe now has removed the legacy play limit that was there before, so you can add more plays. But they did say because of this fix at the launch of the game, you would not be able to use these in online head-to-head, but it would be coming in a title update. So probably that first update, that's going to be included. So if you can't use custom playbooks right now, don't worry. You're going to be able to use them in online head-to-head games very soon, as they said this before the game came out. But I know not everybody pays attention to every video or every bit of news that EA puts out, so some of you just probably didn't know that that was a thing, but it is coming soon. And another big update that comes along with this is the fact that eventually we're going to be able to save our custom playbook audibles finally after like 7 or 8 years. I feel like this was supposed to come years ago. I'm not really sure what took it so long, but that is another part of the rebuilt playbook system that they're doing right now, which includes the custom playbooks and all of that stuff, but it is going to also include the ability to save those custom audibles. So now if you want to set your favorite plays in your formations, you could save them game to game and you don't have to keep redoing them, which is going to be one of the best quality of life additions to the game and something we've been begging for years. So I don't know if that's coming in the first update. I would assume this is going to come in the same update as the one that's going to allow custom playbooks to be used online, which I think would be the first or second one of the year. So this is also coming very soon as well. Now, if you want to see some other really cool stuff that was actually added to Madden 25 this year, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.